This is CBS 12 News at 3.
Thanks for joining us at 3:30. I'm Lily Ortiz.
I'm Jim Grimes. Well, the nation is averaging around 65,000 new cases of coronavirus each and every day, but it's a dramatic drop from the start of the year when cases were averaging more than 250,000 a day.
And the first doses of the single-dose Johnson & Johnson vaccine are bringing hope and relief to communities across the country today. Reporter David Begnaud filed this report.
And just like that, Barbara Schmallenberger became one of the very first people in the United States to receive the Johnson & Johnson vaccine.
I can't believe it's over.
She was one of 5 people to get the shot at The Ohio State University on Tuesday. And going forward, Ohioans will be able to choose which shot they want.
What we're going to do is try and figure out why are people choosing one versus the other, so it can help us determine the best way to use this in the future.
And then there are the people like 84-year-old Nancy Heber. Johnson & Johnson's shot was really her only option. She has several allergies to different medicines, including the solution that turns the freeze-dried Moderna and Pfizer vaccines into a liquid. So while she's been eligible for months, her doctor said you need to wait for J&J.
I thought, when is it going to be my turn? I am so thrilled that today was my day for freedom.
Freedom to see her family again. Like her 87-year-old sister who lives down the street. She just started her vaccinations too. And her 35-year-old grandson who is developmentally disabled. He'll get his second shot this week. But Heber says she's most excited to see her son Brian. She hasn't seen him in 2 years.
We do talk on the phone every night, but in person is just the best ever. I grew up during World War II. I didn't see my dad for 4 years. So I know what being away from loved ones is about. At 84, I realized my time to be around is limited. And so to be able to make plans to see someone I haven't seen for 2 years, that means an awful lot.
Gotta love that Miss Nancy. She's a retired teacher. And if you have severe allergic reactions like her, J&J might be the right one for you. I mean, in clinical trials, it was reportedly found to be 100% effective at preventing hospitalizations and deaths. But if you don't have to have J&J, Pfizer and Moderna are just as good, doctors say. Any of the 3 will work for most everyone. David Begnaud, CBS News, Columbus, Ohio.
Here's a look at some of the numbers here. Over 102 million vaccines have been delivered across the country, and more than 15% of the country has at least received the first dose.
Florida and other states across the country are working to get vaccines into the arms of the underserved communities. Reporter Jerika Duncan has more on why the push is being met with some red tape.
Yeah, congratulations, man.
It was a shot of confidence for 76-year-old Dennis Hobson.
I've been praying that it would be sooner rather than later. That first shot is like coming into a new year. The weight has been lifted off my back.
Hobson's wife, Tanya, who also received her shot, admits she was skeptical at first, but church town hall meetings put her at ease.
You just have to have the right information because it's just so much false information that's going on that is causing people to hesitate.
Last month, New Jersey partnered with select churches in underserved communities to help distribute the vaccine. The state plans to expand the effort beyond First Baptist to churches and community sites in 4 other cities, hoping to vaccinate 15,000 people by the end of March.
There's no governor, there's no elected official who wouldn't have wanted to know more earlier.
Governor Phil Murphy toured the church site last week.
When you look at the faces, though, right now, the people behind you, why is it so critical as you stand here?
Well, in this case, there's a lot of folks of color, and that's the reason, the principal reason why we are in this church. The virus didn't create the inequities, but it has laid them bare. So I view my job, our job, to address that.
According to the CDC, black people are roughly 2 times more likely than white people to die from the virus and 3 times more likely to be hospitalized. Pastor DeForest Sori says he's glad the state chose to partner with his church, but wishes it had happened sooner.
We knew the vaccine was coming, and it's just curious to me that we would work so hard to get vaccine developed. We had a year to put together the infrastructure for distributing vaccine whenever it came.
When we asked the governor's office about the delay, They told us there was significant coordination between federal, state, and community partners involved in getting the program off the ground.
You tout that there are over 1.75 million shots that have been distributed in a state made up of nearly 9 million people, but that you all still have a long way to go.
We just need more supplies. The needle is moving in the right direction. It's going to be gradual as opposed to overnight, but I'm confident they'll get there. We'll get there.
Where would communities of color be without churches like yours in this pandemic?
Without the black church, there would have been no Underground Railroad. Without the black church, we would not have had social protests at the level of organization that we did to break down the Jim Crow laws. And without the black church, we will not get past this pandemic. Churches are where people come to for help.
It's hugely important.
It's central to the life of black people, both historically and futuristically.
How much do you think this will now alter your life? You and your husband travel a lot.
You know, we have to get the second shot, so we're scheduled a month from today. And once we get that second shot, I said, let's hit the road.
As for Pastor Soares, he says the pain is personal for him as he lost his sister-in-law and his nephew to COVID. He was also supposed to retire as pastor in November of 2020, but has decided to stay on to help his community through this pandemic. Sharika Duncan, CBS News, New York.
And the COVID-19 vaccine may cause some false positives on cancer screenings. A new report released from the MD Anderson Cancer Center says that it's seeing an uptick in mammograms identifying false positive breast cancer. It has to do with swelling of the lymph nodes, which is the common side effect to getting the vaccine. Now, the swelling can impact results up to 6 weeks after vaccinations, and patients are being advised to wait 6 to 10 weeks after receiving the vaccine to schedule their exams unless they are overdue for screenings.
Well, still ahead on CBS 12 News at 3:30. For those who've had the virus, why new research shows it may be just as good as getting the vaccine.
And an Olympic-sized update on this year's games, who will not be in attendance.
And big weather change moving through our area as we speak. A cool front on the map gave us some showers and clouds out there with noticeably cooler and drier air behind it. How cool it will be at your house tomorrow morning when I come back with your 7-day forecast.
You're watching CBS 12 News at 3.
Well, if you were planning a trip to Tokyo for the Olympics, you may want to cancel. A Japanese newspaper reported no foreign fans will be allowed. Many Japanese residents have expressed concerns with the spike in cases as more than 11,000 Olympic athletes come to the country. But the International Olympic Committee is hoping most athletes will come vaccinated. The Olympics starts July 23rd.
World Health Organization is now advising against using hydroxychloroquine to fight the coronavirus. A special panel of experts found that inflammatory drug has no meaningful effects on deaths or even hospitalizations when it comes to COVID-19. It could also increase the risk of some adverse side effects. That malaria drug was once touted by former President Trump and created a debate over its efficacy last March. The panel say they plan on releasing information about better drugs that will deal with COVID symptoms.
And some new hope today from a new report here that says that getting the virus may actually give you long-lasting protection against COVID-19. Medical reporter Liz Bonas shares why it also gives hope that the same kind of response may happen from the vaccine.
This new report coming from the National Institutes of Health. Well, we've known for a while that protection does wane over time. This new research sharing some encouraging news. When scientists looked at immune responses in more than 200 people who had recovered from COVID-19, they found your immune system keeps a memory of it, sometimes a long memory. When it comes to antibodies that block the virus's spike protein, they did not appear to decline until 6 to 8 months after infection. This confirms previous research which shows natural infection induces a strong response. The hope now is the same will hold true for the vaccine.
You know, certainly people that have had COVID itself, at least, it looks like they have several months of immunity, and even that's being followed. But with the vaccine, we really just need to understand how long that immune response lasts.
For those getting the vaccine, such as Vicki Reckers. So what does it mean to you to get the vaccine today?
A peace of mind, yes, that in a few days we'll be completely protected.
If the same holds true, maybe Vicky will also be protected for a longer time. Now, even if you've had the virus, the vaccine is still recommended, especially because as variants pop up, they may be different from the strain that made you sick. I'm medical reporter Liz Bonus. We'll throw it back to you.
Also ahead at 3:30, hymns of hope. How social media helping one person's kindness turn into a nationwide gesture of inspiration.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Liz Quirantes, and here's what we're working on tonight at 5. Today marks the first day people under 65 can get the vaccine because of certain conditions, but they need special permission first. We'll explain that. Then the cost of learning loss. New information about how the lack of learning could turn into a lack of earning for your child as an adult. And Microsoft hack. What was compromised and what the tech company is urging people to do. That's all new when Jim and I see you tonight at 5.
Just into the CBS 12 newsroom, lines of seniors over at the Delray Beach community waiting in line to get vaccinated. Our crews were there as those residents in the Lakes of Delray community waited, some of them more than 3 hours to get vaccinated. Residents were told to get there between the hours of 8 in the morning until 11 this morning, but the organizers told them that later to come back again.
I've been out here about an hour now waiting, not too long, but some people have been out here since 8 o'clock this morning. And right now it's 2 o'clock.
Well, from some of the images that were sent in, it doesn't appear that the people administering the shots arrived until after 12:30 this afternoon. CBS 12 News is working to confirm exactly what happened today.
All right, well, switching gears now. It all started as a simple gesture for a friend during this pandemic.
But as reporter Candace Scalise shows us, one woman's generosity is inspiring strangers around the nation.
Samantha and Brian, one woman's simple idea to help a friend during the pandemic is affecting more people than she ever thought. And social media is playing a big part in spreading joy to others. A well-known hymn during a time when so much is unknown.
I was on the phone with a friend who is a nurse, and we were both scared, and I think we were crying, and I wanted to do something for her.
So Susan Lyons picked up her flute, first sharing videos with friends and family, then bringing her love of music to Facebook.
Folks started sharing stories about how much it meant to them, or personal stories or glimpses into their life.
Natiki Satterite was one of those.
For me, music is a connector, so it connects people over all, racial barriers, socioeconomic barriers. So when I first heard it, and not being able to go to church, I was like, wow, this is, amazing. But I didn't realize she was going to do it every single day.
What began in March has continued ever since. Every day, a hymn.
I just felt like this is something that can give us hope in a time of change, in a time of sorrow. So it really affected me in a deep way. So I really appreciate her doing that for everyone.
Especially being in an unusual time like we are right now, the words take on new meaning.
And when we're forced to be apart, Susan Lyons is an example of how something so simple can make such a big impact.
There were some days where her daughter would sing, her daughter would play the piano, and it was just so inspirational, and it really got me through this pandemic.
Every night, Susan Lyons plays a different hymn on Facebook, and she tells me this experience has given her peace during the pandemic.
And they are talented.
Love the music, yeah.
Well, nice view of Jensen Beach, but it is cloudy in some parts of our area.
Yeah, Lulu, this is interesting because the clouds right now are limited to Palm Beach County. The cool front is pushed far enough south of the Treasure Coast to allow the sun to come back out with drier air. And boy, what a serene shot out there. And it's even sunnier across the northern part of the Treasure Coast. We're watching the showers exit the Palm Beach County coast there east of Lake Worth. Maybe a few little sprinkles up, but that's it. Showers down there across northeastern Broward. It looks like, again, most of the rain over with the front as it continues to march through the area and southeast of the area during the late afternoon and early evening. In its wake, much cooler air to the north yet to come into our area. Take a look at this temperature gradient. Still 81 in Stewart, 80 West Palm, 83 the hot spot in Miami, but the cold spot in the state in the cool sector. 57 in Gainesville. Jackets and sweaters needed here along the I-10 corridor. And with that northwest flow, some of that chill will be coming into our area tonight. By tomorrow morning, we're dropping into the upper 50s, southeast Palm Beach County, mid-50s out Southern Boulevard way towards Wellington and Belle Glade, dropping down to 55 in Royal Palm and Loxahatchee. We're looking for upper 50s, Jupiter to West Palm, and on the Treasure Coast, mostly mid-50s for you. And your zone forecast could be as cool as 52 there in Okeechobee City. Your Thursday, I think, is looking spectacular. Mostly sunny, lower humidity, lower temperatures, with highs reaching into the mid to upper 70s. That's for Palm Beach County, but probably only low 70s along the Treasure Coast. And on the water for tomorrow, little rough. Small craft caution. Winds northwest 10 to 20 with seas 2 to 4. That's sustained winds, but notice our hour-by-hour wind gust forecast. Early afternoon, some parts of our area could be seeing winds gusting in excess of 20, even up to 25 miles an hour. Then we move on into your Friday. The winds shift into the northeast and east-northeast, with gusts between 10 and 20 miles an hour. As we watch the front move through, we see again the clouds go away. There'll be clouds, but they'll be offshore tomorrow. You might be able to see them far to the east. We move into your Friday. Again, those winds shifting onshore, bringing in a few patchy clouds. So here comes our next weather maker due into the area Saturday. It's a small storm system. This might make a much more southerly approach and move right through South Florida. When that happens, we get the best dynamics here. So it could be a rainier, showery, stormier Saturday coming our way, and then even some showers lingering on into your Sunday. Temperatures for the next week, it looks like, will be near or below the normal high of 78, and then we rocket above the normal by the mid to late part of next week. So the weekend in view in detail. Showers and storms on your Saturday. This is kind of the indoor Netflix or Prime day, or maybe you want to get some errands done around the house. And then on Sunday, we're partly sunny, breezy, so you can plan some outdoor activities then, with high temperatures reaching into the mid-70s, again, a little bit below normal. And for weather on the go, take a look at my Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram posts. There's my email and CBS12.com/weather on our website. 7-day forecast where that weekend is always in view. A couple nice days coming up. Notice it'll be more comfortable. A wet, stormy Saturday, and then cooler and drier and breezy for the start of next week. Enjoy. We're back in a moment.
Oh boy. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. What is this? Oh my God.
A Tennessee man had quite the weekend after reeling in a monster paddlefish.
I'm telling you, it weighs at least 100. It was at least 150 pounds.
The biggest ever at this lake and rivaling the world record. But we'll never know for sure because he let it go.
I guess I'm an idiot for letting it go, but we didn't kill it and it's still here swimming around, so somebody else catch it.
And before he released his fish, he managed to get that perfect picture proving his catch. If you've got some great pictures or video, share them with us on Chime In. You can find it on your station's mobile app or website, and show us something good. I'm Melanie Hastings.
Well, how about this? Your favorite vacation spot could be out of this world. New details have been released about the world's first ever space hotel. It's developed by Orbital Assembly Corporation. The Voyager station is expected to have restaurants, movie theater, a spa, some 400 rooms. Construction slated for 2025. So there you go, Lily. Book your appointment.
And they have a spa, which is great, too.
That's pretty cool, huh?
All right, thanks so much for joining us for this extended half hour.
We'll see you back here tonight at 5.